if you feel like being consistent with things is a challenge, I really think this video might help you out. For context, I've been running a development company for the past 3 years, so a software company. And for 4 years before that, I had been trying to run all kinds of businesses, and I've been poking around since I was 13 in productivity and how do I get more done and all that kind of stuff. And I always wanted to build the habits and do the habit trackers and all the fancy things and the 100 things that people tell you you're meant to do to be hyper mega productive and awake 100% of the time and all that. And I struggled a lot with it. There are some people who can brute force their way to consistency, and I have never, been one to do very well when trying that. And through my experimentation over the past, I would say about 7-8 years, I have learned a lot of stuff, and I think sharing some of that might help. To be consistent, basically, I'll get straight into it. To be consistent, you have to lower the bar so that you can jump over it. And what that means is like the thing that I've realized, the times when I have failed to be consistent were always when I added too many things to do to try and be consistent at. It's a lot easier to be consistent at one thing. It's a lot harder to be consistent at 10 things. And actually, these videos are a great example. I think they're one of the best, most public examples that I have of this, but I've applied this in other areas of my life. But at one point I decided to pick this up and basically, okay, YouTube, right? It works on consistency. So, and I want to make this work. And so I'm going to record every day. And how am I going to make it consistent? How am I going to do it every single day? I just lowered the stakes. And I basically said, I don't care what I record on or about or how long it is. I have no criteria. The only criteria is that I record and post something. There is a video somewhere in March that I recorded, which I think it's called like Views from Madeira. It's an 11-second long video of the fucking ocean. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Like it's useless, right? But I posted it anyway because the idea is that it is just part of the consistency. But I lowered the bar so that I can meet it and jump over it, basically. And that makes a massive, massive difference. And if I could go back to my younger self and, when I was trying to build habits, it's like, pick something. You can't do anything. Sorry, you can't do everything. You can do anything you want, but you cannot do everything. And so you got to pick. Pick what you're going to be consistent at, and pick that very carefully, because you do not have the luxury of picking 10 things right off the bat. Pick one. You start with one, and then maybe you can add two, but you can only add the second one if it's extremely low stakes. What I mean by low stakes is like easy to do. My entire life revolves around like, how do I make the things that I need to do easier so that I can do more of them? And for example, I like to practice a little bit of daily gratitude. It's actually something that's brought a lot into my life. And I had this habit when I was 16. I did it for about 9 months. Changed my life, by the way. And then I lost it. And I just kind of let it go because I started traveling. I got busy, and I founded this company when I was 17. So I got busy with that. It was one of the regrets I had for a long time, but I never got back into it, and I recently restarted it. And I make sure that I can do it from my phone, and it's one of the things that I try and do as soon as possible in the day. And it makes a huge difference. But I lowered the stakes. I write 3 things that I enjoyed from the previous day. That's it. And it's 3 specific moments. If you're curious, like that's how I do it personally. And I think that works amazing. But fundamentally, I make it as simple as possible, because most people set the bar over here and they jump over it once, jump over it twice, and then they fail, and then they fail again. And you bring the bar down. That's the thing. That's the secret to consistency. I really struggled with it when I was younger because I wanted to do all the things, and I was like, well, if I plan meticulously and I do it properly, it doesn't matter how much you plan. It matters how much you're able to do consistently. And if you fail at it, if you tend to fail with consistency, try setting something stupid simple. Even a monkey could do it every day. And when you do the thing that the monkey does every day, okay, fine. Then add a fraction of a step higher. But I think people take on too much at a time. And so actually, at some level, I think consistency needs to come with focus. Focus and consistency come hand in hand. They are married to each other, because you cannot be consistent without focus. Because consistency means doing something repeatedly. That means not doing other things, right? Because if like I'm not doing other things by recording this video. I could be doing something else, but I'm going to choose to do this. I understand that it's just like 5-10 minutes of my day, but whatever. For those 5-10 minutes, I'm sacrificing other things I could be doing for this. But you have to pick the thing that you actually want to be consistent in, and then lower that bar as much as you can. And even if it's a level that whatever you want to work out every day, make your bar like break a sweat or work out for 20 minutes. Make it easier so that you get over that bar easily. And you'll find that if you work out for 20 minutes, usually you don't mind going for maybe 40 or 60, right? And even in these videos, like just by making a point of recording them on a daily basis, I get better at them over time, right? And there are days that I don't feel like recording, and I'll do a little update, and then I'll call it a day, and I'll record for 2 minutes, and that's fine. There's no problem. But I was consistent, and that makes it a lot easier. And I got slightly better, like a fraction better than I was the day before. I think like that goes such a long way. And everybody says, oh, consistency is super important. I like to say like extraordinary things are just, if you look at the word extraordinary, extra is like, well, it can be more of ordinary, just more ordinary things, just done for a fucking long time. That's extraordinary. And so if the nature of something extraordinary is just doing something for a very long time, it means consistency is the absolute essence of that. And so I think it's like such an important skill to learn how to be consistent at things. And I think you learn it by realizing you cannot do everything. At least in my experience, it's like, lowering that bar is what makes it way easier to stick to. And it's more important to stick to something easy than to not stick to something that's hard. Don't try and do 5 habits at once. You stick to one habit. Find the one that you think will make the biggest difference, and then just do that. And that's probably enough. You'll be surprised, I think. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, do subscribe. Apparently 85% of the people who watch these videos are not subscribed, so I would appreciate it. And comment if you'd like me to make a video on something else. I do try and read those, and well, since I record every day, I have plenty of opportunity to answer those questions with a video. So if there are any questions or opinions that you'd like from me, do feel free.